In this video, we are going to explore the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem is used in geometry, and specifically it is used when dealing with right triangles. Here we see a triangle, and as long as we see that little box in the corner that I just drew, that there is the symbol for a right angle. Okay, a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. So as long as you have a triangle that has a right angle in it, a right triangle, you can use the Pythagorean theorem. Otherwise, you won't be able to use it. Okay. So what the theorem itself says is that, let's say that we call these sides A and B. Those are called the legs of the right triangle. And the other side over here, let's call it C. C is called the hypotenuse of the triangle. It might be worth writing out that word, hypotenuse. And all that the hypotenuse is it's the longest side of the right triangle. The longest side. And the longest side is always going to be across from the right angle. You notice how that side C, the hypotenuse, is across from the right angle. It's always going to be there. Okay, so the hypotenuse is always going to be in that same place where C is. Okay, so if we have these sides, what the Pythagorean theorem says is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So if we have an example, and I'll just write that really quickly again, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Let's look at an example. All right, this will make it a lot easier to understand, I'm sure. So if we have this side is 3, this side is 4, and maybe we don't know the third side, the hypotenuse there. We could figure out what it is by plugging in these numbers into the Pythagorean theorem. So remember that the side we're looking for here with the question mark on it is the hypotenuse, right? It's the side across from the right angle. It's the longest side. That's our C. We said that was C, right? So we don't know what C is, but we do know A and B. A and B are 3 and 4. So what we could do is we could plug in 3 into A, and we could plug 4 into B, like this. So it would be 3 squared and 4 squared, and we could evaluate this and figure out what we end up getting. Okay, so 3 squared is 3 times 3. Remember, to square a number means to multiply it by itself. So 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. Plus 4 squared, which is 4 times 4, which is 16. That's going to be equal to c squared, our missing side. And if we add up 9 and 16, we're going to get 25. Of course, you could use a calculator if you need to. So 25 equals c squared. Okay, at this point, we need to figure out what number squared, what number times itself, is equal to 25. Now, sometimes you could just do this in your head. You might know that it's 5. Or another way that you could do it is you could take the square root of both sides. Okay, because if we square root both sides, that's going to cancel out the square over here. And we're going to end up just getting c, which is what we were looking for. And the square root of 25, if you use your calculator again, that's fine. You get 5. Okay, so we figured out that the missing side that we were looking for from the beginning is equal to 5.